Hello, I'm Gill at engVid, and we have a lesson today on pronunciation of two sounds which are similar but different. Ing, which comes at the end of a lot of verbs, walking, talking, cooking, cleaning, that sort of thing, the present participle. And another one, ink, which also has a sort of ng sound in it as well. So they have a similarity, but there's also a difference. So I find that with some of my students, they don't quite get the pronunciations right, and some students with ing do a sort of hard G sound at the end, like ing, ing. But you don't need to do that. You can stop before that hard G sound. It looks from the spelling as if it's needed, but it's not. So it's just ing, 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 and it's sort of in the throat. And you don't have to do a g in your mouth, the sound in the mouth with it. So ing. And then with ink, there's still a ng sound in it, but it ends with a K. And I find also some of my students, maybe from Eastern Europe in particular, say ink when they're really trying to say ing. So they might say singing, looking, cleaning, and that also is wrong. So no hard G and no K for the ings. So I thought what we could do is look at some words that are real words in both, under both headings. So we've got sing and sink. So it helps you to practice the slight difference between them. So also hopefully there may be some new vocabulary here for you, so you can learn some new words at the same time. So let's have a look. Let's go through the ings first. So sing, and we can also, with some of these, if they're a verb, we can say singing, singing. So both of those sounds, that sound comes twice, singing. So don't make the g or k sound with it. Thing, thing. Ring, so you could have ringing, ringing, and it's just ng, ng, ng in your throat like that. Ringing, ringing. Okay. Ping, pinging, pinging. So ping is a funny word. It sort of suggests a sound, like a little ringing sound. Ping, 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 if something makes that sort of sound. And also it's used in computing. If you ping someone to see how long it takes for a message to arrive. Or some people just say, I'll ping that across to you, meaning I will email it across to you. They use ping to mean send, as well as the more technical meaning of seeing how long it takes for a message to reach somewhere. Okay, so ping and pinging. Bring, I'm sure you know that word, bring, to bring something with you. Will you bring a bottle to the party? Something like that. Wing, on a bird, that the bird flies with, the wings, wing. Okay. Ming has a capital M because it's the Ming dynasty in China. So you get very valuable pieces of pottery or porcelain. A vase, you could have a Ming vase, for example. Very valuable, very old. So Ming. Okay. King, I'm sure you know the word king. The king and the queen in countries where they have royalty, king. Now this is a funny one. Bling is a little bit sort of an informal slang word. It refers to people who like to wear a lot of jewellery, lots of very noticeable, a thick gold necklace, lots of rings, big rings on their hands, on their fingers, just to show how much money they have. They buy lots of jewellery and it's big and shiny, and that's called bling. A lot of very noticeable jewellery is called bling, to show off how much money you have to spend on things like that. So that's quite a funny word. Okay, so just to go on to the ink. So sink. So you still get the ng sound in it, but you can then put the K on. So you might have sinking. You might actually add ing to it. A lot of these you could add ing. So you can practice both in one word. Sink and sink, sinking, sinking. So that's a good one for practicing both in one word. And thinking, thinking. Okay. Sink, when you go underwater, you sink, or if you throw a stone into the water, it's heavy, so it sinks, it goes down to the bottom. Thinking, okay. A rink is where people skate on the ice, an ice rink, ice skating rink, okay, which is either circular or square, where you can go skating. Okay, so rink. Pink, the colour. Oh, I've got pink on. That's a nice coincidence. Pink. Brink means the edge of something. If you're on the edge of a pond or something, you're on the brink of the pond, the edge. Brink. Wink, when you close one eye like this, which is supposed to mean something to somebody. If you're sharing a joke with somebody or a secret, you might wink at them. So winking, winking, you can practice both in one word there. Mink is a fur, a very expensive fur. So you might have a fur coat, and the mink is a little animal which is bred specially for fur coats, but it's not very acceptable nowadays. People don't like to see people wearing fur coats which are real animal furs, because of the way the animals are treated. Just to produce fur for somebody to wear an expensive coat, a lot of people don't really approve of that now. So anyway, a mink coat is very expensive because of the cost of producing it. Mink. Okay. Kink. A kink is if you've got maybe a piece of wood or a piece of metal, but it's not straight. It has a kink in it. It's got something, a little bend in it or something. And you may also have heard of a pop group from the 1960s called the Kinks, with a capital K, the Kinks, who were very popular, and their music is still popular now, really, with a lot of people, the Kinks. So there's also the adjective kinky, which has a slightly different meaning. You can have kinky boots, for example, if you have boots to wear, which maybe are leather, they might be come up to your thighs, they look very interesting style. They're called kinky boots. Okay, and then blink, it's like wink, only usually you close both eyes and open them again. That's to blink. So you can say blinking, blinking, like that, and practice both in one word. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. I know it's quite difficult to get used to producing the sound. You have to practice it really until you've got it. So it helps to have these words written down and have a list at home where you can just go through it and read them off maybe once a day or something, just to get used to the sound. So just to recap, sing, it's like that in the throat. Sing, singing, singing. So don't make a g or a k at the end for that. And then these also have the ng in them, but with a k sound. Sink, sink. And also there's the stuff that you write with, ink, that you put in your pen, or that's already in the pen, the ink, ink. So it's ng in your throat with a k added, but no k for this one. Okay, so maybe just to finish, I will read through these quickly without too much emphasis, so that you can hear them in a sort of at a normal speed. Okay, right, so here we go. Sing, singing, thing, ring, ringing, ping, pinging, bring, bringing, wing, ming, king, bling. Okay. Sink, sinking, think, thinking, rink, pink, brink, wink, winking, mink, kink, blink, blinking. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. Please go to the website engvid.com, where there will be a quiz, and please subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed this lesson, and hope to see you again soon. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.